Hello and welcome to my channel. Here I review new movies and try to release a new review every day from Monday to Friday. Today's movie is Bullet Train Down. It was directed by Brian Nowak and written by Alex Hierman. It's a super low budget action film with a simple plot. A new train is opening its doors for the first time. Designed by billionaire Jack Banta, this bullet train is the fastest ever. The doors close and the maiden voyage begins with Jack and a full train of passengers on board. Shortly afterward, Jack receives a call telling him that there's a bomb on the train. If the train drops below 200 miles per hour, then the bomb will blow and everyone will die. If Jack wants to save them, he has to wire $100 million into a crypto account while keeping the train's speed up. The first thing you'll notice about the film is the poor visuals. The FBI's office has 2 or 3 people in it, and it looks like a normal office room. The CGI is textureless and looks like a pre-rendering, and the fights have slow and sloppy choreography with poorly done edits to show impact. The green screen work is especially bad, with the background always appearing flat. The actors just look comical trying to seriously act out their roles with the effects. Oh, and the camera shakes the entire time. After the visuals, the story and dialogue is the next biggest talking point. The film rushes through a lot of the story and doesn't flesh out any of its characters well. The whole situation is a little absurd, and there's some comically bad writing in here. Like when a guard gets killed at the beginning and there's a convenient giant trash burning room for the villains to dump his body in. It's a lot of fun, but it doesn't make much sense. The dialogue isn't much better, with most of it being the cast just stating what's currently happening in the story, and repeating information over and over. There are also a few long-winded text speeches to show off the research the writers did, and a few cheesy one-liners to make you laugh. There are useless characters galore, and the film never spends enough time with any of them to be real characters. The only memorable ones are Jack Banta and Kessler Briggs. Banta has a good one-liner or two, and Briggs completes several superhuman feats that had me laughing and cheering with how over-the-top they were. At one point, he even bends a steel door with his bare hands. The film stars Xander Bailey as Jack Banta, Ryan Young-Moon Kim as Lou, his assistant, Rashad Freelove as Kessler Briggs, an ex-Marine on board the train, and Tom Sizemore as the head of the FBI, Scott Madison. Most of the screen time is split between Xander Bailey, Tom Sizemore, and Rashad Freelove. Xander Bailey and Rashad Freelove both put a ton of heart into their performances, and I came away enjoying each of their characters. Xander Bailey as Jack Banta spends most of his time talking to Tom Sizemore's character on the phone and stating the obvious. At the start of the ride, he's a bit self-indulgent, but quickly turns into a serious and calm leader during the crisis. He gets a few decent moments and delivers his one-liners with stone-cold stoicism. Rashad Freelove as Kessler Briggs is like a black Superman. He's a teacher by day and a master of disarming bombs and climbing under and on top of trains while they're moving by night. He's suffering from a bit of PTSD, which locks him up for a minute or two, but once he gets past it, he's cool as a cucumber. He runs around the train, saving lives, and does an impressive job of pretending he's not on a green screen soundstage while crawling and climbing. Freelove hits the emotional beats and had me laughing at how seriously he took all of it. Kudos to him for trying his heart out. Tom Sizemore as Scott Madison doesn't have much of a role in the film. He's Jack's government contact and the first point of contact for getting help. He spends most of his time explaining what's happening and repeating information. He struggles to put any effort into his performance and to get through his lines and doesn't enunciate clearly, making some of his dialogue hard to understand without subtitles. The rest of the cast is made up of extras that give varying quality performances, but ultimately don't get enough screen time to be important. Lastly, we have the soundtrack. It was well done, and really amped up the ridiculous nature of the movie. It takes itself super seriously and matches each scene with an appropriate Hollywood boilerplate track. They always get the mood right, and it complements rather than forces the emotions. Overall, Bullet Train Down isn't a good film. They tried to do a story they didn't have the budget for, and it shows early on in the film. Having said that, it's still a lot of fun. The story is over the top, the characters are ridiculous stereotypes, and the dialogue is all people stating the obvious. I laughed a lot at how invincible Kessler Briggs was, and enjoyed how seriously the cast took their roles. If you like bad action, this is a fun film. 5 out of 10.